Welcome to the ROI Puzzle. I'm Nicole Stirling from Stirling Marketing. On this show, I sit down with leaders in B2B tech to untangle the numbers behind great marketing. Today's episode is going to be slightly different. It's a solo one, and I'm going in on a topic I know is costing HR tech companies a lot of money right now, and that's your conference pipeline. Specifically, why most sponsors walk away from events with a stack of business cards and a vague feeling it went well, and almost nothing in the CRM. No opportunities, no pipeline, no dollar value, and your events just look like they produced no results. If you're heading to RE, HR Tech Fest, or any of the HR and L&D conferences on the APAC calendar on the second half of this year, and you're not sure your conference investment is actually converting to pipeline, then this session is for you. But first, a little bit about us. At Stirling Marketing, we generate over $7 million in pipeline for B2B tech companies in 12 months with a campaign engine built to close, not just engage. And a big part of that engine is conference strategy before, during, and after the event. It's not just a one-day event. One of our clients, One Model, generate over $6 million USD in pipeline from just 6 months of HR tech conference activity across Asia Pacific and Japan. The same events you're probably already sponsoring, but a completely different approach. And if you want to know exactly where your conference strategy is leaking pipeline, I've built a free tool called the Pipeline Acceleration Roadmap. It's a 60-minute session where I'll audit your funnel with you and send you a prioritized action plan that you can take straight to your CEO or CRO. You can book that at stirlingmarketing.net/roadmap. With that, let's get into today's session. So here's what most people don't talk about when it comes to HR tech conferences in APAC. This is not a market you scale into. It's a market you earn your way into. There are around 26,000 senior HR leaders at a CXO or VP level across Asia, Pacific, and Japan. In Australia and Singapore specifically, you're chasing just a fraction of that number, the same faces at the same events year after year. And these buyers all know each other. They share opinions on vendors. Their reputation travels fast in this small market. And that cuts both ways, with them to you and you to them. And here's the number that should keep every marketing leader up at night. Sixth Sense's 2025 B2B Buyer Experience Report found that 95% of deals are won by a vendor already on the buyer's day one shortlist. That means that most people walk into that event hall with their minds close to made up already. So your booth, the banner, badge scanning is not getting you on that list. What does, though, is showing up consistently, having the right conversations year after year. Year one, you're unfamiliar. Year two, they remember you. Year three, they refer you. And you can condense that into just 6 months if you're turning up at the right conferences. The vendors winning in this market treat the conference circuit as a connected campaign. It's not a series of standalone events. So let's talk about what that actually looks like. Now, before you arrive, the work that determines your conference ROI mostly happens before you even walk in the door. So 2 to 4 weeks out, here's what the best teams are doing. First of all, they build a target list in advance, and it's not off the badge scanner. It's off an attendee list or a conference ICP if you don't get that attendee list. They're identifying who is likely to be in the room, filter by title and company, and prep a one-liner for each target. It's not a pitch, it's just a piece of context. What do they do? Why are they at this event? What problem are they probably trying to solve? Second, they warm up on LinkedIn, not in the creepy way, just if you're heading to this event, would love to connect. Don't assume they're going. If you assume, that's where you're creepy. Short, sharp, there's no attachment, there's no pitch, it's not about your product, it's just a signal that you're going to be there. And then third, once the connections accept, follow up with a short email. Reference the conference, one observation about their business, your experience from past years at this event. Offer a chat, not a meeting. Keep it pressure-free. So it's not a discovery call, it's not a demo. It really is keeping it easy and light. You're building a relationship. And then, and this is what most teams skip, is they lock in 2 to 3 meetings before they even get to the conference. If you can get 5 meetings, even better. But at the very minimum, you should be going on site knowing that you've got 2 minimum people to talk to and you've got times booked with them. Pre-booked conversations convert at a far higher rate than cold floor interactions. Even just a casual let's grab a drink on day 2 or during the networking drinks is a confirmed touch point. That's what you're going in on. It's not a booth and it's not a hope. Now, the next part of this is what you're doing when you actually are at the conference. So once you're on site, there's one rule that matters more than anything else. A great conversation with no next step is just a conversation. I wouldn't even call it a great one. So your job on the floor is to convert every relevant interaction into a committed, diarized follow-up before the delegate walks away. It's not a let's catch up soon. You leave those for your tire kickers. What you need to be doing is booking an actual meeting and book in on the spot. So when a conversation lands well, you say, can we put 30 minutes in the diary now? Pull out your phone. Reveal your whole life that you have on your phone. That's showing your vulnerability and it encourages them to do the same. Share your calendar. Look at their calendar. Send the invite before they even walk to the next booth. You want to do this because every day of delay kills momentum. If you don't have it booked, what are the next likely steps going to be? The event finishes on a Thursday. You're highly unlikely to sort through that lead list on a Friday. You're exhausted. You've just had 2 days on your feet. So then you delay till Monday, but nobody wants to do anything on a Monday morning. So now it's Monday afternoon. Maybe it won't be till Tuesday that you do the follow-up. And then you pick up the phone, they don't answer. And they don't answer Wednesday, and they don't answer Thursday, and they don't answer your email that you send on any of those days. And so now you've missed an entire week in order to have a chat with them. If you book it on the spot, you get that meeting the following week or the one after. And I've got a sales rep who does an amazing job of this. He has, honest to goodness, booked 8 meetings at one conference. And he said no one ever no-shows. Worst case is they actually move the meeting because they want to bring more of their team members along. That makes it stickier. So moving meetings is not a problem. Now, to get that meeting in, you need to frame your follow-up as a conversation. It's not a demo. It's not a product walkthrough. I just want to understand your priorities and share what's worked for teams like yours. I might get your technical guy along because he's been chatting to some of our customers in the last week or so. So he's got some really good ideas that he could share. You want to be as low threat and high value as you possibly can. It's much easier for them to say yes. And don't underestimate the evening. Bar queues, dinner seating, drinks after the keynote, that's when your guard comes down. That's when real conversations happen. One team I worked with, like I said, averaged 8 meaningful conversations per day. And this is a totally different person, but they actually did it purely by tapping someone on the shoulder in the coffee queue and asking, is this the coffee queue? And then striking up conversation. They honestly brought 12 cups of coffee back to the booth, not having drunk more than about one of them. One sales team I had set a simple rule for every event. No one leaves the floor without at least 2 meetings booked for the following week. And that's not leads, that's not cards, it is actual meetings. And by checkout, they had 11 confirmed conversations in the diary. That's what intentional looks like. And then you've got the after event scenarios. So this is where the conference pipeline goes to die. And it's not because the conversations were bad, it's because the follow through is not consistent. So I have a 4-touch sequence that does help keep momentum alive. This is not intended for those hot leads that were at the booth. This is intended for your warmer or your colder leads that you want to get them into a warm touch point. So you can have a look at that on the Stirling Marketing website, but honestly, it's touch 1 is within 24 hours. That 24-hour piece is so important. It doesn't matter whether it's LinkedIn or it's an email or you send them a text message or just do a quick follow-up phone call. The 24 hours, though, is the most important part, not the channel. Touch 2, get that done within a day or 2. It's an email. You want to give. Don't ask for anything. Find something that is useful for you to share with them based on the conversation that you had. It could be an asset. It could be a case study. It could be an introduction to someone in your network. You just want it to be useful to the role that they're currently doing and what they're looking for at the moment. And then, look, it doesn't hurt to close with a worth of 20 minutes to explore if there's a fit. But it's not meant to be a hard sell. And then you've got your day 3, day 5, again, LinkedIn, not an ask, engage with their content, share something relevant that they mentioned at the event. The piece here is being genuine follow through. And then touch 4 could be on day 10. Final email, direct and warm. You don't want to be pushy. That is not going to win you relationships in this market. What kills it though? Generic follow-up, attaching a brochure in your touch 1, asking for a demo before you've had a single real conversation, waiting more than 24 hours for that first touch point, all of that, killers. The window closes super fast. Move while their memory is warm and the experience that they had with you stays in that memory. Now, if you're taking one thing away from this episode, I would suggest it is this. The conferences you're already attending are most certainly worth more than you're getting from them. The investment is made, the buyers are in the room. The difference between sponsors who convert and those who don't is preparation, it's intentional conversations, and it's a follow-up that actually moves fast enough. So I've put all this together in a free resource. It's called the HR Tech Conference Pipeline Playbook. You can grab it at stirlingmarketing.net under the resources section. If you want to know more about how your current conference strategy scores, I've also built an interactive pipeline scorecard. There's 8 questions scored across 4 dimensions, those being targeting, execution, follow-up, and visibility. You'll get a score out of 100, and you'll also get a specific action plan before your next event. That is available also at stirlingmarketing.net. I highly recommend you give it a go. You can actually put that one into Claude and get AI to give you some real answers on where you should be at with your planning. And on that note, that's a wrap on the ROI puzzle. So if you are a B2B tech company heading to a HR tech conference in the next 90, 120, or in the next 6 months, and you want a proper plan behind your presence and not just a booth, you're not just planning to just rock up for the one day, then grab your free pipeline acceleration roadmap at stirlingmarketing.net/roadmap. And I'll show you exactly where your funnel is broken and how to fix it fast. And if you would like to share your own story on the show, again, head to stirlingmarketing.net, look for the ROI puzzle, and pop us through a little note. We would love to have you join. This is Nicole Stirling, talking the ROI puzzle, one conversation at a time.